All right, folks, that market's moving back up. XRP with a 500x market cap multiplier yesterday, Thursday, July 9th. And so, as I record this update Friday, July 10th, we want to put this into perspective for you guys, showing you once again how easy it's going to be to move XRP when we get that bull run started again. It's going to move quickly, and a lot of people are going to be left behind. Now, one thing that we're hoping we don't get left behind on is Clarity Act and regulations for crypto in the US. So I have an update on that, along with the OCC giving full approval to one company. It's not Ripple yet, but is the Ripple OCC full approval coming? Let's break it all down in today's Friday update. I hope you guys appreciate it. And if you missed last night's live show, we run it up every Tuesday, Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you don't miss our live shows or any of our updates by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Let's roll. This is President Trump on Truth Social this morning. He says, I will not sign the housing bill in protest over the fact that the U.S. Senate is not capable of passing the Save America Act. Trump is right to be upset over the Senate's inability to pass the Save Act. However, his protest might not actually mean much. According to Chad Pergram, Fox's chief congressional correspondent, bipartisan housing bill automatically becomes a law overnight tonight if Trump does not sign it. Trump has not signed the housing bill into law yet or vetoed it, but under Article 1, Section 7 of the Constitution, it automatically becomes law overnight tonight if it is not returned by the president within 10 days. So when the president gets the bill, he has a few options here. He can either sign it and bring it into law. He can veto it, which returns it to Congress, and then a 2/3 majority is needed to override that vote and to bring it into law. They need a 2/3 majority in both chambers, by the way, Senate and the House. And that would, of course, require bipartisan support. Or the president can just do nothing, which is neither signing it or vetoing it, but it automatically becomes law after 10 days. Sundays are excluded from that. This is what is happening with the housing bill that Trump is saying that he's not going to be signing. And we asked the question here today, could he do this, the Clarity Act? I think it's unlikely, right? He's championing becoming the crypto capital of the world, but it's very clear that he is very interested in getting that Save America Act passed before we do anything else. And so this kind of muddies the waters once again. You know, we're trying to get this thing across the finish line, and you have President Trump, pushing back on the Senate's inability to push forward that Save America Act. And you got the same Senate here that has to debate FISA and has to figure out the Clarity Act with 20 working days, bringing us to the August 7th recess. And the reason why we're so focused on that is because we have 20 working days starting July 13th, Monday next week. Senate will be in session for 4 weeks, 20 working days. And if they don't get it signed by August 7th, they go for a big recess, come back in September. But by that time, we're into midterm election campaign season. The last thing on their mind is really, hashing these things out and getting any bill done, unless it's, something that helps these politicians campaign and their efforts for getting reelected, which I think getting crypto clarity done, Clarity Act is going to be a big deal. There's going to be a price to pay for those who are not pushing this forward. And we're going to make them pay for it at the poll booths here come November. But we're watching here closely because, like I said, we're right up here at crunch time. The good news, though, is that if we don't get the Clarity Act signed, we already are getting clarity from the regulators, and XRP already has clarity too. You guys know that. But CFTC Chairman Michael Seelig, he warns that regulators will end up writing all the rules for digital assets if Congress fails to pass the Clarity Act. And that's the process that's already underway. The SEC has given no action letter to the DTCC. They're going live next week, July 15th. We got a full breakdown dropping tomorrow. Make sure you guys check that one out. But, XRP doesn't need the Clarity Act. We already know XRP is not a security. Bitcoin's the only other digital asset that's really in the clear without the Clarity Act. But the SEC, the CFTC, they're starting to move forward, giving guidance through their rulemaking process. And you're going to get additional guidance from the SEC this month on custody, tokenization, and a few other things too in the rulemaking process and the proposals that they're set to release this month. Now, on top of that, the SEC and the CFTC giving forward guidance, conducting their rulemaking process, and kind of putting it out into the open. Hey, here's what we're not going to allow you to do. Here's what we are going to allow you to do. You combine that with now the OCC, which is starting to give out the full approval here. This is the regulators making the rules and giving guidance without Congress, without the Clarity Act, and those politicians in DC that are stalling things up. Circle has just received their final OCC approval for the Circle National Trust, a federally supervised national trust bank that will provide digital asset custody under direct federal oversight. The next one to drop is going to be Ripple's, by the way. Let's be very clear. The announcement is coming soon. I don't know if it's going to come next week, but the fact that Circle just got it, you already know the deal. That Ripple National Trust Bank will be a thing here shortly. The OCC, the SEC, the CFTC, right, all of these regulatory bodies, they're giving no action letters. They're giving guidance through rulemaking. They're giving right here final OCC approval for the Circle National Trust Bank. Next will be the Ripple National Trust Bank. We've been talking about Ripple becoming a bank. We're here. This is no longer speculation. This is no longer hypotheticals. This is no longer solve a riddle. This is no longer decode something. This is just happening now, with or without the Clarity Act. And I hate to say it because I want to see a level playing field. I want to see for the rest of the space, right? But if Clarity Act doesn't get done, the only thing that it hurts XRP on is some banks and institutions in the US might still be held back somewhat from using XRP. But when it comes to using something, XRP is probably going to be in the top front running, right? Because we know it has clarity. When you look at these other Ethereum, when you look at Solana, there's no clarity there. You don't have official notice. Now, with the rulemaking process and some forward guidance, you might get that. But as far as having legal precedent, we have that legal precedent for XRP, not just comments from the SEC chairman, not just rulemaking process. We have legal precedent. As a matter of law, XRP is not a security. And here soon, we're about to have the OCC approval, and Ripple will have their trust bank. That will be live. And this will once again put XRP and Ripple in the lead as far as all the contenders, as far as getting a piece of that action. As you're seeing the Swift go live, you're seeing DTC go live. We're talking about quadrillions, not trillions with the T, quadrillions with the Q, coming on chain, not just being represented by tokenized assets, but also the settlement and trading of those assets. And that, at the end of the day, is what drives demand for XRP. Now, speaking of demand for XRP, the inflows are coming back in. And you guys saw, probably in the thumbnail of this video, right, that I shared my call out number. Let me show you guys this real quick. We're looking at CoinGlass right here, and you can see yesterday, July 9th, 2026, the daily net flow for XRP was 2.24 million of inflows. So all the money that came in, all the money that left XRP, the tally there is a net flow of 2.24 million. So we take that and we go look at the change in market cap for XRP yesterday. And you'll see that XRP, the bottom of this wick, down here at 67.56 billion, and the top of it up here at 68.76 billion, basically where we're trading at right now. Okay, and so yesterday's candle, that was a change or growth of 1.18 billion for XRP market cap. So this is where we slide on over to our calculator, and we take that change in market cap, 1.18 billion, divided by 2.24 million, And that's what gives us a market cap multiplier of 526. And so we do this to just once again show you guys simple math, hard data, no riddles, nothing crazy, no hype. No, this means XRP is going to 10,000. I'm just giving you the data. I'm giving you the data and showing you once again 2 million of a net inflow for XRP increased the market cap by $1 billion. So we got these market cap bros are acting silly out here trying to say that it's impossible for XRP to go to these high prices. And we can show you over a 1 hour period, a 4 hour period. We can show you over a day. We can show you over a week. As I did in the update earlier this week, I showed you the tallies, the market cap multiplier for the months of January, February, all the way through June. So I've taken every single time frame. 1 hour period, 4 hour period, 8 hour period, 12-hour period, 1 day period, weekly period, monthly period, 6 month, year to date flow, year to date multiplier. And it shows you time after time again here that it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. For XRP to be $100 today with 60 billion circulating supply, it's a 6 trillion market cap, bigger than Nvidia. This couldn't be. It's impossible. How is 6 trillion going to flow into XRP? We don't need 6 trillion. Stop being silly. Come look at the math. Come check the data. We put it all together for you guys. I hope you appreciate it. And, you know, the inflows that we've seen here, it's nice. It's nice to see some green candles. I have my buy orders placed to the downside, and that's how I'm positioned right now. Is this bear market over? We're very close. Is the bottom in? Maybe. I'm ready. If we want to send it below $1, I got my buy orders placed. And my buy orders are placed over here on my sponsor's platform, iTrust Capital. And they have you set up if you want to get your retirement funds into digital assets or precious metals with their IRA product. You can start stacking and making your gains tax-free in that Roth IRA that iTrust Capital has. It's one of the best options available. Premium custody account, that's that free institutional grade custody. All of it with US-based customer support. Pick up the phone, talk to a real person. It's kind of rare these days. And then you have the treasury account for your business, your LLC, your trust, your nonprofit, your plumbing business, you're a hairdresser. I don't know what you are, what your business is, but we got you covered here. Our sponsor, iTrust Capital, and the link down below. When you use that link, you will, one, support the show, but you also get a $100 funding bonus after you get your account funded. So take advantage of that special. Get your buy orders in case we do get that downside action. But as we showed you here today, as we've continued to see ever since we started watching this multiplier, it does not take much to move XRP quickly. And so when this starts to turn back around, crypto becomes favorable again. It's the hot thing on the block and everybody wants a piece of it. It don't take billions coming in to make XRP move by tens of billions in market cap and even hundreds of billions in market cap. That's coming for XRP. Is it coming tomorrow? I don't put the date on it, but I am saying that we're within the range here where bear market's concluding. This is wrapping up. Inflows start to come back in, and very quickly you get priced out of buying XRP at these attractive prices. So don't get left behind. Make sure your buy orders are placed. I like iTrust Capital along with some of the other resources we have at zachrector.com. So if you support our show here, help us out by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide, using our community resources, and joining our private community. We'd love to have you, and I greatly appreciate your support. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.